Makes him such a great cook.
Great vintage stuff there from Rick, and these days you'll find Sean Hill cooking in my neck of the woods, and he is a fantastic chef, worth seeking out. Now, in recent weeks, James has been bringing in the produce from his highly productive vegetable plot, or allotment, to the show, and although he is away, he's left me a present, and I think he's left me this because it's particularly hard to cook with. So, it is big cucumbers. I know 2 recipes for cucumbers, both of which I'm doing today. Look at those boys. What do you do with cucumbers there?
I eat them in a salad.
Yeah?
With a little bit of mint, olive oil,
Yeah,
delicious.
or with some salmon, poached salmon. What else? No, I can't think of anything. Ken, got any ideas?
No, stir-fry with garlic and chilies.
Yeah?
Wonderful.
Really?
Absolutely.
OK, well, there's a lot of love for cucumbers. Look at that, it's a little bit flaccid. But there we are. But big. So ordinarily, I would have used about that much of a cucumber, but I've had to think around this and think of sort of much bigger dishes. So we're going to do a cucumber soup, OK? End of season and all that. Still, you know, still nice weather for chilled soup, I think. Or hot, in this case. With a little spiced cucumber pickle. OK, so let's get on. I'm going to try and find one I can use. A straight one would be good, yeah. You grow these, don't you?
Well, no. This is my first year of growing cucumbers, and my cucumber was about the size of what you would use. Well, it was about this big, and then I went away for work and it got eaten by slugs.
Right, OK, so I'm just going to take some of this peel off. Now, tell us about EastEnders. Now, you've left the show. You're going back into it. Is that quite a tough gig to do?
It is really, because I left to have my babies. I've had twins. Yeah. And I was on maternity leave, so I'm very much out of it. I've been away for quite a while, really, and now I'm going back. And I've been back for, if I'm on this week, I've nearly been back for 2 months, but it's a very gentle entrance, really.
Really? I'm not crashing
storming
music
into
at the end?
The square and saving anyone from a fire or anything.
Right. Coming back with Rolly the dog.
No, wouldn't that be nice? I did like Rolly. Yeah.
So what had happened when you actually
When I left. My husband had lied to me yet again, because that's what he does best.
Right.
And my salon had been taken from me. The debt collectors were in, and yeah, I stormed off. Well, I tried to storm. I was obviously heavily pregnant at the time, and hiding it all with Christmas bags.
With what, Christmas bags?
Christmas shopping. We were shooting Christmas, so I had big raincoats and lots of shopping bags in front of my 32-week bump with 2 babies in it.
Right.
So I stormed off as much as you can when you're that big.
Waddled.
Waddled is more like it, to be honest. Yeah. And now I'm kind of, I like to think, floating back in.
Right.
A lot lighter.
Yeah.
Well, not as light as I'd like to be. Yeah, I'm coming back in with my new man. I'm engaged to a man called Greg.
So we can expect lots of drama.
We can, eventually, yes.
Yeah. OK. And how are you when you read these scripts and some scriptwriter has gone, right, I want this to happen and this to happen? Do you find that quite hard?
Yeah, like burying your husband alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a bit left
dramatic.
field. Because one week you'll be thinking, oh, she's nice, and so you're explaining to somebody who Tanya is, oh, she's mumsy, she's, she's a little bit feisty, she's not a pushover, but she's like this, and, and then next week you're trying to murder your husband and burying him in a wood. But
then you dug him back up.
I dug him up, so what's he complaining about?
Not going to be happy with that.
He's lucky. But yeah, so it can be a bit left field, but that's soap, that's the nature of it. It wouldn't be worth watching if it was just, mundane, would it?
I was friendly with a fellow in Coronation Street on the other side, which we're talking about. And he's so sick and tired, he felt a very bad character. Charlie the Builder.
Oh, yeah.
Coronation Street.
Yeah.
And he played such a bad character that he got fed up with people stopping him in the street and having a go at him.
I think it's much more interesting to play someone nasty because it's more fun.
Yeah.
But if you play someone that's a bit nicer, like I do, you don't get so much hassle.
And people kind of react to your character rather than you.
Really nicely. Do you know, little kids, particularly, kids cuddle me.
Really?
I think she must be much more mumsy than I think, But yeah, I get a really lovely reaction from the public, and it was quite sad because my husband in the show did have an affair with a very young neighbour and daughter-in-law.
Really? How young?
Yeah, she was about
Really?
17. Yeah. It was a terrible Christmas for
Forgivable.
Tanya. No, not forgivable at all. I buried him alive. Let that be a warning to you. The same could happen for not buying a birthday present.
Is that
for
when
your wife.
you slapped him? You won the best slap award or
Best
something?
slap, not to be
Which I didn't
confused with best slapper.
No, obviously.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise there was an award for best slap.
No, nor did I until I got it. But, you know, there's one to be proud of. Not many people can say that.
Right, so over here, so cucumber over there is in a colander, salted, okay? Ideally salted for about half an hour to an hour. I'm just chopping this up really roughly. In here I've got some chilli and some garlic and some olive oil. To that I'm going to add some banana shallots. Some nice, you're going to use an onion, you know. You ever made cucumber soup?
No, I've not done anything else with a cucumber than in a salad, but I'm just
well, there you
wondering, so you salt it to take the water out?
Yeah,
presumably?
exactly. I'm going to squeeze the life out of it in just a bit. It takes on a really nice sort of vibrant green colour. And then over here, okay, I'm going to put some rice wine vinegar, or you could use white wine vinegar, caster sugar, so you've got a nice sort of sweet sour kind of taste. And I've got some coriander seeds. So you basically dissolve the sugar. Let's just move that aside. Crush these toasted seeds. And then to that I'm going to add a little bit of chopped chilli at the end. Okay, so that's just a solution that you wash there.
So they're quite strong flavours, because sometimes with something that's really mild, people don't use so much strong stuff, do they? But you've kind of got
Totally. Well, I
something.
kind of, you know, as nice as they are, James, cucumbers are pretty bland. You know, they
Yeah.
need a little bit of help. So so I'm using sort of big, strong flavours here just to sort of help things along. So sweat that off. Into that I've got the ends, and all the bits of trim that I'm not using from the other pickled cucumber. Okay, it's quite a lot. But then you cook that down, give that a stir around, and then to that I've got some hot stock. I've got chicken stock. But obviously you don't have to use that. You can use veg stock. But the chicken gives it a nice sort of meaty quality, and we know you like meat. Right. So hot stock. That's pretty much it. Right, and just let it tick over for a little bit. Now, away from EastEnders for a minute, you were in No Angels, which is kind of sort of cult drama, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how is the sort of the move back into mainstream? Is that going to be difficult if you're known as
It
sort
was
of
very different,
a cult actress?
They work in such a different way, and it is definitely a different entity, apart from the fact that there's not so much swearing and nothing's quite as rude as it would be on Channel 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different entity, and
do you find that hard to sort of jump? I mean, I guess that's your job. You're an actress, but jumping from one role to another in that sort of, you know, very different genre.
I enjoy that diversity. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't moved around a lot. Obviously, I've been at EastEnders for a few years now, but before that, I had gone from, you know, No Angels to a period drama, or to, you know, to quite diverse things. And that's all part of the flavour, isn't it? That's
But you're working with a director on your new project.
Yeah, I've just
That cab company.
Candy Cabs, yeah.
Right.
That's one about these two women that set up an all-female cab company for
Yeah.
women, run by women. Set up north, and that was with the same director, Minky Spiro, fantastic director, and she directed No Angels that I was in years ago. So
Right.
I came out of my maternity leave a little bit early to go and do that.
That's BBC One later on in the year, is that
Yeah,
right?
that should be in the new year.
So it's
hopefully.
nice to have a sort of relationship with a director that you've worked
I
with
just,
before,
I didn't even know what the part was or what the piece was when she mentioned it, and I just went, yeah, I'll come and work for you again, because
Yeah.
you're great.
Yeah, that's nice. Right, okay, so back to the soup. Up to the boil, tick it over for sort of, 10 minutes or so, ideally, just to cook them down a little bit. And then, but because they're so soft anyway, I've got hot stock here, so we'll blitz them up. And I'm going to add most of the cucumber, and then add a little bit of stock, because you don't want it too watery, like it was in rehearsal. Right, okay, so on with that, on with the lid. I'll try not to splash you. And then just adjust it by pouring in more liquor. Okay. Your 15-year-old nephew's actually in the studio.
My nephew's here, Harry. Yeah.
Yeah, picking up a few tips.
He's going to be a chef one day, without a doubt. He's training at the moment, yeah. And
anything we can do to put him off? Get him into the legal profession?
Maybe the cucumber soup.
don't put him off. He cooks for us all the time. He's always
Really?
cooking for his every
That's
weekend.
really- that's
he does
really
something
good.
new
I-
for his mum and dad.
I like it when the kids cook. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
my two into cooking, and Henry's kind of excited about it. My daughter,
Really.
8 years old, she don't care. Right, a little bit of salt. You like chilli?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I've got a cold coming as well,
Have
so,
you?
I need to be able to taste this.
Perfect. Right, OK, let's go and clean cloth. Let's go and rinse this the cucumber off. So here, OK, it's just starting to pull out the liquid from the cucumber. So get it in the tea towel and then just give it a really good squeeze. And just get as much of the liquid out as you can. And it will take a while, and the longer you leave it,
Sure, I'm strong enough
the
for
more...
that.
Yeah, I'm just doing it to show off.
Yeah.
There you go. It's coming on now. OK, that's good. That's good. Right, so I think pretty much there. I'm just going to try that again. So when you cook it, do you leave a horrible mess like this?
I do, actually,
Everywhere?
yeah, and I kind of
Good.
live by the rule that if I'm doing the cooking, he can do the washing up. So
Really?
I don't really worry about it. Although it does end up staying till the next morning usually, and then I do it anyway.
Right, so let's get the cucumber out. And so... OK, so to that we'll add this liquor. And this is just, like I said, sweet sour sort of solution with those coriander seeds. Now this is a warm soup, and obviously chilled soup on a nice hot day, which it isn't particularly today. And then to that, a little bit of the chopped mint, chopped coriander in there. Stir that about. And then, if I could just borrow that a sec, then I don't slop soup all over you.
That
Plates,
smells
a little
good.
bit of that.
That smells very fresh.
Yeah, it does, and I love this pickled cucumber. It goes really nicely with fish. We do it with cured duck as well. It's nice. And this pickle keeps. It loses its colour slightly, but it still tastes great. You've still got a little bit of crunch to it, so it'll keep for a little bit in the fridge. Okay, here's the soup. Now you could, if you wanted to, stick it through a sieve, just to make it super smooth.
We like the rustic look today.
Like rustic? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Right, let's tidy that up a bit. OK. And then finally finish with, all chefs do, a little slug of oil. Like so. Right, there you go. How quick was that?
Very quick round of applause.
Right, OK, so there you go. Try that. Cucumber soup, cucumber pickle. Now you know what to do with your bumper crop.
I'm really surprised.
Are you?
Yeah.
In a
I
good
am.
way?
Genuinely. Yes, I didn't expect it to taste of cucumber after everything you've done to it. That sounds ridiculous. I thought, it's such a mild flavour, you wouldn't actually taste that. It's lovely. It is.
Well, the pickled cucumber is lovely.
Yeah, I'm just
Got a
trying
nice
to
spiciness to it.
liberate a little bit so that I don't chomp
Just put
on
it on the thing. There we go. Anyway, so what am I going to be cooking for Joe at the end of the show? Joe's here to face either food heaven or food hell.
Heaven.
Food heaven would be beef. Heaven, you say? A Côte de Boeuf steak. The steak is seared in a fiercely hot pan, roasted and topped with blue cheese, and left to rest. It's served with sautéed wild mushrooms, potatoes, and finished with pan juices. Delicious. I'm not going to push anyone, but that's
That is...
stonking looking
Oh,
piece
come
of meat.
on.
Isn't it? Or will Joe face food hell? Milk and one of my favourite old-fashioned desserts, rice pudding. The milk, excuse me, that's a peppercorn. The milk is mixed with cream, infused with vanilla, and added to the rice. I'll add butter and sugar and gently bake it. It's served warm with a homemade spicy compote on the side, which is equally as nice.
But not really.
But not as
come on.
dramatic. There you
Yeah.
go. Some of our viewers and the guests in the studio get to decide Joe's fate today. So Theo, what are you going for?
I like the sound of I like the sound of both of them, but I think the beef. You want to cook the beef, don't you?
Well done.
I want to
Yeah.
cook the beef. Yeah, if anyone cares. And
It'll be
Flo,
good.
what about you?
Not sure yet.
I've yet
Really?
to sway
Yeah.
Flo.
Oh, okay. And actually, we've just had a phone call from Shane Ritchie, who wants he wants to vote for hell.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Shane. I'm watching
He's
you.
a mate of yours, is he?
Yeah, he
Well, he
is.
was. There we are.
Well, he was. Yeah, exactly. Not anymore.
You're going to have to wait till the end of the show to see the final result. Right, we've reached the Welsh heat of the Great British Menu. Aled Williams takes on reigning champion James Summerin for a place in the final. Let's take a look.